Hello, everybody, and we are back. I'm so excited to be here with the lovely Izzy, Isabelle Poirier. Thank you so much for joining us for day 2 here at Adobe Live.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
So Izzy is joining us here from Ottawa, and she's a brand designer. But today, in particular, we're going to tackle part 2 of the project that we started yesterday. We've been working in mainly Illustrator, and we're going to pick up from Illustrator again today. So make sure to stay tuned to see the development of the lovely booklet that she's creating. And of course, before we get started, Izzy, I just want to welcome everybody here that is joining us in this wonderful community at Adobe Live. You are in the right place if you're looking to learn new skills and new techniques while enjoying this wonderful community. If you're watching from behance.net/live, that is the place where I can take care of your questions. So don't be afraid to ask any questions regarding the life of a designer, the specific apps that we're using, Illustrator, InDesign, but much more. As I say, this is always a safe space to learn together. And of course, don't forget to, if you perhaps missed yesterday, the stream is available on a replay, both on behance.net/live, just below us in the What's New section, but also you will be able to bookmark, save, and watch the stream every time you want by simply subscribing on the Adobe Live YouTube channel, which is brand new and is filled of so much inspirational and exciting content. And as well, before we get started, I want to remind everybody to check the photography live stream that we're live just before us with a amazing streamer, and they will show off the new Photoshop features just launched during Max 2022, which was taking place in LA. And that's where we actually met in person, right, Izzy?
Yay! Yes, indeed. It was so fun.
Yes, super exciting. So why don't you just introduce yourself a little bit more for those that were joining, they're just joining today. I can see so many familiar faces in the chat. Please say hi and let us know where are you watching from. We have the lovely Annika, Fatima, Becca, Richard, Elisandra, Kieran Lewis in the house. Please feel free to say hi. Let us know where you're watching from and ask a question. I'll make sure to take a note and pass it to Izzy during the stream. So Izzy, take it away and let us know more about you.
Amazing. Well, hi, everyone. I redid a presentation for today. Like I had an intro slide today. And oh yeah, now that I'm full frame, you can see my little buddy Yam that is just on this side here, still like working alongside with us. But yeah, I'm Isabelle. Everyone calls me Izzy. I am a brand designer or brand creator, whatever you want to call me. It's fine. At IP Design in Ottawa. I'm just gonna do this here. Oops. So this is a few projects that I have been working on these days. So we focus on, at IP Design, focus on brands that tailor an experience for their audience. We saw Yam earlier, but I did get a formal complaint from my other cat. He was a bit jealous that he didn't make the stream yesterday. So here is Picasso.
Oh, that's so cute. I can understand now. You were mentioning his very appealing features, and I can totally see how cute.
So cute. And I like struggle to which picture I had put in. But if the chat really wants to see another picture of my cat side by side, because Picasso is massive, I have them ready for later on. I'm also the founder of the Ottawa Design Club. This is a totally volunteer-run club where we host speaker events, workshops, and do some zines. We have been doing a bit of craft markets that I have forgotten to mention yesterday. This is my small but mighty team, and I want to give a special shout out to Ariane because it is her birthday today.
Oh, so happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ariane. And please watch her stream. It was featured last year, and she designed an typographic zine Halloween theme. So it's actually perfect for like this time of year.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Do you know exactly when she's going to be live?
Oh, she was live a year ago.
So she was live a year ago. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
So that's it. So if you want to watch something to get you in the mood while you're working alongside, so it was with Edgar Allan Poe that she did this full zine, and it was beautiful. It's funny. I rewatched it, I think 2 days ago, and it was my first time hosting, and I'm like, okay, there was a bit of improvements. That's really good. It's cool to see like how you've grown like over a year. And yeah, I have a new question for the chat to get us started. So, do you want a tattoo since we're designing a book of tattoos today? And if yes, what do you want to get? I want to get the golden ratio next.
Ooh.
So, what about you, Clady?
We're so aligned.
Really?
We're so aligned. So yesterday I was looking into like the sacred geometry. I'm actually currently in Alameda, and I discovered a lovely shop with different crystals and all these metaphysical things. So I've collected a few, and that's my brand new carnelian that is just there
cool.
to boost our creativity over here. And they actually sit on geometry. So I was actually looking into sacred geometry. So we're definitely aligned. I have these tattoos over here that I actually designed myself. And as you can see,
wow.
Geometry is a big part of my tattoo, and of course, nature. So yes, that's my topic. And I look forward to see what is the chat. What is the chat perspective on tattoos, if they have any, and what they're looking to get. I love that you're starting with a question.
Well, you know, trying to get some engagement here. And I love to hear from the chat. So yeah, let us know. So quick recap on the project yesterday. So we started to do some illustration for a book. It's the Maxwell's Book of Faces. We are collaborating with Maxwell. I haven't seen him in the chat yet, but maybe he will join soon. But Maxwell is an amazing tattoo artist that have like a very grotesque style. It's very different. So we're designing a book to showcase the art, and it's for creatives who appreciate quirkiness and the art of tattoos. This is Maxwell's tattoo shop, so feel free to scan the QR code and give them a follow. This is Maxwell's Hughes personal account, also some great art there. And this is what we have been working with yesterday. So I made this little cute animation last night. This is like all the scans, or not, well, a lot of the scans that we have been working from yesterday. So that's that. And today, as we will be doing the book, we will be using the words of an article that was on the New Way Collective tattoo shop. It's Nosy Mag. Feel free to check them out too. They are a published and online zine based in Ottawa as well. And the article has been written by Megan.
Amazing. I love that you provide a QR code. I think that's so useful.
And it was generated in InDesign, which has changed my life. I learned that in last week, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many things that I did not know. And I thought I was, doing okay in the software, but there's still so much more to learn. So it's like,
and we
crazy.
have Maxwell in the chat. He's saying,
Yay!
I'm here. Hello. Currently making some flesh while I watch. Yay.
Oh, nice. Wow. Okay. So this is like a double creativity thing happening. So these are some of the illustrations that we have done yesterday. We looked at the intertwine tool as well, like as you can see here and here. And today we will be implementing them in the InDesign file. This is the mood board that we will be referring to. And this is the type that I have selected for this grotesque type, which is a kind of a conceptual thing. Also, I love the cleanness of the type. So it matches, it gives a great contrast, I should say, with the illustrations. Okay, so I want to spend like just maybe 2 minutes on this. This is kind of like something I do. I kind of hinted about it yesterday. It's just to plan the content a little bit. So I have like printed, you can kind of see it here, but I have printed, it's just kind of a spread where I write down like what I want to see to plan like the layout of the content and stuff like that. The second one is funny. You can see it like on the presentation, but wherever there's going to be an illustration, I just made like a happy face. And sometimes I don't follow exactly like where everything is going to be, but it's kind of just a good like framework to be in whenever I'm going to do the content. Because this is a highly collaborative project and I'm kind of implementing my creative thinking like on an equal level with Maxwell. It's not as rigid as if I was working with a client where there's actually like boxes of contents that is already predetermined for me.
Fantastic. So yeah, and I love all this prep work. I think you've done a fantastic job.
Thank you. Perfect. All right. So, oops, that was my presentation. Okay. So if we go in InDesign, let me just reframe this. I already preset my working document just because I want to do as much as we can today. We have a lot to cover. So I have decided for the book to be 6 by 9 inches. And if we look at this view, we can see all my grids. I'm working with a 6-column grid. Grids is something that I should have learned a long time ago, but I didn't. I was too artsy for that. But then I noticed that like having this and having multiple columns gives you a lot of flexibility on what you can do with the content that you place in.
That's absolutely. The larger the number of column, the more you can literally place more elements. And sometimes what I tend to do is just choose if I have columns that allow me to use square or rectangular shape. And that's really all I care about. And then the more, the better.
Exactly. And this is something that I have learned with working with Ariane, actually, who was better than me at editorial design, and working on the zine together, we were able to learn from each other. I think that my creative thinking, like we really like built on like the crazy ideas. Like she would have crazy ideas too, but I was like, how can we like one this up like all the time? Like, how can we get better? And then like I learned a lot from her for like all the little quirks like this to know to make it a very nice design.
How long have you guys been working together?
3 years since the club started, actually, and we met through the Ottawa Design Club. So we weren't friends before, but now I call her my design wife.
I love it. That's amazing. So cool. So cool.
Another thing that I want to show you, I kind of went crazy too last night and like image traced a lot of the scans. So I'll have like a lot to be able to like pull with from like to work on the editorial.
So you've been tracing
like crazy. I have also exported it, so like everything is in the library too. So if I just want to have like the PNG ready, I can just click and drag it. It's all there. I can come here and copy paste directly in InDesign too, so I can change the colors if needed. So, and I did one in color, which I really liked. So that was still following Maxwell's choices of color, but like I think it's very interesting, like when it's colored like this. So
super cool.
Speaking of color, something that I have learned at Adobe Max. Let's go here. This is like the direct scans of the sketchbooks. And using the eyedropper tool. So if we click option, eyedropper tool is going to be just like the regular eyedropper tool. But if you press on option and then click on it and go with this little like sidebar with the squares, if you click on a specific image like this, I had pre-selected that earlier. It's actually giving you a color palette.
That's what it's called. It's called Color Theme Picker.
There you go. Which is something, again, I learned last week. And I'm like, what? Like, this is going to save me so much time.
It's so amazing.
It is so amazing.
To the library as well.
Exactly. So you can just click here. And then you can see it. It's been added right here. And you can also do this. And then it's added in your swatches right here. So easy color palette. You can also like click in other places too, I think here. So you can have like bright, dark, muted, and you can do it again with different images, which is amazing. So, I mean, we just have a color palette selected like that, which is amazing. All right, so let's start designing. Let me go back to the design so I'm like following my sheet of paper here.
Before we start the design, I'm just going to give you some of the reply regarding the tattoos.
Yes.
So I've seen, I think Garrett was talking about a Celtic. Let me go ahead so Jack was saying, I have 2 tattoos. None of them are donuts, believe it or not. So let us know more, Jack, if you want. And we have Garrett said, I almost got a Celtic knot. It was my own drawing, but never got around it. We have also a general question, which I think is so exciting to reply to, from Smooth Alex. How long did it take you to get into the spot you are today?
Like business-wise or design-wise? Because I find that they are different.
Well, tell us, that's your experience. So tell us how it's different. And if you want, you can briefly go a quick overlook on both. And maybe how you swapped from, employed to self-employed.
So design-wise, I actually have not studied design back in my studies. I have a BFA, so I actually studied visual arts where I did painting and photography. And after that, I was like, okay, how can I monetize all of this creativity? Because my teachers were amazing and taught me like this very specific way of thinking. And like I owe them my career because it's really what I left with the most is the way of thinking. And yes, I'm like, okay, I'll try graphic design. So I took some part-time classes to learn the software at the local college that we have here, and just fell in love with it and just started to like read books about it, like get better. And I was working as a graphic designer back then too. And after a little bit, I'm like, okay, I think it's time to, I was feeling frustrated from like my job. Like I could not expand on the thinking and the branding strategy and stuff like that. So I left, and now it's been 3 years that I'm working for myself.
Woohoo!
I hope I'm like trying to like give the like condensed
story.
yeah, but it's hard.
So you were in the chat also at Adobe Live when you were going from one to the other, right? So I love to share experience, because I started being in the chat and just loving. I mean, I was already self-employed, but I think that the community is so powerful. And I think yesterday you were talking about the other people that you met through the chat as well.
Absolutely. So that's it. When I was at my last like in-house design job, I was watching Adobe Live all the time, and I'm like, one day I'm gonna be there. And back then too, I felt that it was really hard to get opportunities. There was some creative groups and stuff like that, but not enough to like propel personally my career. Or people would say, yeah, I'll do this for you, but you follow with an email and you don't hear back and stuff like that. So today that's like something that is very, very big for me, is that I want to be the person that I did not have when I was in that spot. And I think that's why for me, my personal motivation of having the club, the Ottawa Design Club, to help creative network and find what they're looking for, and like introducing them to the right people, open up possibilities. Same thing, like the people that I've met here, when I felt that they were like ready and super cool, I'm like, hey, like, would you like to be on Adobe Live? Like, I can refer you. I can't promise anything, but I'll refer you. They were like, what? And, some of them were emailed back. So that's it. Like, I'm trying to be that person that I did not have back then.
So amazing.
Giving back is really important. Okay, so that's too big. So this is just Maxwell's biography here. I'm just kind of playing with it.
And Izzy, whenever you have a second, sorry to be annoying as yesterday, if you can just stretch up your workspace, like for InDesign and any app that you're using, so it just fills the page, so we don't get distracted with anything else. We can focus on your work.
Like that.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Okay. So this, again, like this is, I have not made like specific decisions yet. Like I'm just going to drop a bit of things here and there, and then we'll see how cohesive that is. Oh yeah, I wanted to actually do this.
So did the color palette came from his drawings, or did you have a specific direction for it? Do you have any idea before? What was the color journey?
Just this. I saw this. I'm like, this works. It fits the mood board.
Okay.
Like,
perfect.
That's it. It's probably going, like, as we go, we're probably going to add, because we're going to add some scans too. There's a section like in the book that is scans. So maybe we're going to add to the color palette. But again, like, this is very different for me because it's a very holistic process. Usually I'm very like, all the decisions are pre-made, but I'm letting the creativity just flow today.
And it's beautiful to work with another artist because you get so much input from that as well. That, like, I think it's so amazing.
That is it.
And we have Annika in the chat saying, I love grades. Annika runs Stream. I'm sure you know her as well. She's a fellow streamer here on Adobe Live, and she has a specific show every Tuesday with InDesign.
Actually, Annika hosted my last live where I was a guest.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, that was
so
great.
Cool.
Okay, so I want to have that bigger.
Oh, which font are you using?
So this is Integral, and this is a font that I bought, but here this is Nimbus 100, and this is an Adobe font. So
people be able to also download it from the fonts.adobe.com library.
Exactly.
I'm so sorry. People cannot see the beauty of Yam looking out of the window, which I'm getting distracted. I love your work, but we have the little cutie there, and I can see him moving on the window, and the cat TV, I call it.
Yes, he's just right there. He's been here all morning, actually, all night too. Because I went to bed very late last night.
You've been intertwining?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Oh, he's got such a cute face.
He is super cute.
Let us know in the chat if you have any pet that works with you. Here, Izzy is with her office manager, Yam, which is been very busy this morning, monitoring everything that goes on around the office.
Indeed. So this is 13 points. It's a bit big for a book, but because there's not a lot of content and it's not like crazy essays that's going in, I think that's okay. So we're just going to add a paragraph style to this. I like this, and we can also add this. Oops. I have to name them. So that would be title pink. Our text. I don't have that. Oops. I don't have naming convention. Okay, bye, Yam. Yam is leaving.
Had a little jump behind you.
Yeah.
He has to go and make some copies. He's going to the photocopy machine.
That's okay. He's actually like not sure what's going on. Okay, bye. But yeah, so like I don't have like the best naming convention for the paragraph styles. I mean, as long as you can recognize your own stuff, I guess that's okay.
Have you had a go at the brand new font packs that are, the style packs that are available with the 2023?
I saw that and I wanted to look into it, but then I'm like, I have no time to prep this. But if you want to talk about it, please.
It's super easy. If you go to the window menu, to the top window menu with all the panel leaves, and you go under styles, where usually all the paragraph style lives, there's going to be a style pack, new little panel there. And what you can see, basically that panel will allow you to download the style pack. So you can pick whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. And simply click on the little cloud that is located at the bottom right of the name. Yeah. So you were exactly there. So whenever you click on it, maybe click on the second one because it looks like you already have added there. Yeah. So whenever you add the pack, you will see that it will automatically be added to your paragraph style. And you have all the naming conventions there, and then you can simply go ahead and apply it to your text and edit them. So, instead of
Cool.
if you do not want to create paragraph styles from scratch, you can either leverage the pack as it is, or you can rename it and edit it as you want. So that saves you just simply time to keep saving your paragraph style. And that's it. That's it.
And can you create your own paragraph? Could you?
Yeah. So if you look now, so the style pack is there only to allow to download it. So it brings them inside. If you go back to your paragraph styles now panel, the one that you were using before, you will see that the pack are there, and you can either, if you double click on any on the pack, you can apply it, or you can edit it. You can do whatever you want with it. And if you go back to your title pink, you can also bring it inside your the little folder by dragging it inside.
Let's do it.
And if you want the avenue title of the style can be changed to whatever you want. So that can be Easy Avenue, or it can be Maxwell. You need to put style at the beginning though. So it needs to be style, and then whatever else you want. I think there is a semicolon, style semicolon. It's just a convention of the name. Yeah.
Oh.
Like perfect.
There you go.
And here we go. So it's just nice and easy. You already have all the paragraph style named and ready to go. And all you have to do is to edit them to your pleasure. So this is a brand new feature, by the way, coming up, which is being revealed during Max in LA.
In LA.
In LA. So cool. And since we're talking about that, sorry, Izzy, if for those of you who didn't have the chance to look more into the new releases, or maybe didn't have the chance to take part of Max, all these wonderful new tips and tricks are available for you to watch on demand on max.adobe.com. Just simply look for the keynotes and you will have the amazing Adobe staff presenting all the wonderful new features for the Creative Cloud 2023. I'm done.
Sorry, I actually don't want this. I want to have the other ones, which...
We have Annika in the chat sharing the links for Integral. So if you're looking to use the same font that Izzy is using in her design, you can simply click on the link that Annika has placed in the chat for both of them. So we have the purchasable font, which is Integral, and then Nimbus stands from fonts.adobe.com. Is this going to be a digital book? Or
no. So, I mean, it can be both. Right now, I'm designing it for print. And then it's really easy. I find like whenever you do the switch after.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just want to... I don't know where to put, where I can... like the zoom feature.
The zoom.
So because like how I see you, like it's like I don't know where to put. There you go.
Oh, on Zoom. Oh, okay.
On Zoom, yeah. Sorry, that's like for me.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. That's fine.
That has like no people are like, what?
No, I'm very bad with Zoom myself. Like I struggle sometimes just to share my screen. These simple tasks can be quite demanding on Zoom.
There's a lot that goes on behind the scene on Adobe Live that you don't know about.
Yes, we have our lovely Paco today that is here with us, making sure that everything works, that we go from one page to the other, that we sound okay, and that everything gets streamed perfectly, both on behance.net/live and on the Adobe Live YouTube channel. So thank you so much, Paco, for being here with us. He's our angel behind the scene.
I got the chance to meet Paco in person too. That was great at the Adobe Live booth.
He's amazing.
Last week. He's amazing. Good
when
vibes.
we used to stream live, I used to get like, because we used to stream at the beginning 3 hours from the office. I think it was 3 days, 3 hours, something like that. And as a guest, imagine being at the Adobe Live office. So there was a lot of adrenaline coming up. So when the stream ended, all the adrenaline was coming down, and we had this beautiful high five at the end of the stream. Also, you guys are going to be able to see Paco and Jacob and all the entire crew if you check out the Max stream, which are available for replay, both on behance.net/live and Adobe Live. There are the behind the scenes. So in between stream, I actually noticed that they put a little bit of what was going on behind the scene, and you can see Paco, you can see Jacob, and all the fun that we have together, because it's an amazing team. We always have such a great time together.
That's amazing. I'm going to watch that for sure.
And Paco is saying, it was so great to finally meet you in person, Izzy.
Likewise. I also want to have this in very heavy. Another reason why I chose Integral is that there is a big font family.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we look at it here, there's from regular to heavy, like extra bold, bold, demi bold, medium, like that. There's a lot, and there's all the italics too. So that's like giving me a lot of options to work with.
Do you have a specific set rule on how many fonts do you use? How many weight do you use for the same font?
I tried to use only 2 fonts per project. If needed, 3, but I find that that's like a lot. And again, it depends on the vibe of the book or the design. Because I find that if you want to break the grid, then you can maybe allow yourself to have like crazy design, not follow the grid, and maybe have more fonts and just do a big mishmash if that's the intention. When it's a bit more conventional, then I'm like, specifically if you're building a brand, like for the client, it's better if they have only 2, because sometimes, or 3, too much will like mess them up. Okay.
I can see the mood board coming alive.
Right? So like if we can see here, I'll try to like, not the camera. That was like my quick sketch to do something. And what I want to do as well, if I go back to, okay, hold on again. If I go back here to the mood board, this here, I really like this here.
Yes,
I'm gonna try to do that
from yesterday.
Okay, so let me just lock this.
So while you do that, also we have our lovely Annika in the chat that has shared Paco Instagram. I follow Paco all the time myself. He's an amazing videographer and photographer. Besides making sure that everything runs smooth here on Adobe Live, it just takes the most breathtaking videos and photos in nature. So I follow him all the time and dream that I'll be there where he goes one day, because it's so beautiful. So go and give it a follow. We have his Instagram, Paco_Siller, that you can actually click and access directly from the chat. Big up, Paco. We love you.
There you go. Covering all the bases today. Everyone. Actually, is that something that people can do? Add their handle in the chat so people can follow each other from whoever's streaming right now?
I think that Annika, so the moderator, is the only person that can paste any link. Of course, you can click on the profile. So each person that is on Behance, if they have their name there, you can click on their profile, and then, supposedly, hopefully, everybody has their organized link within the profile. So for example, if you click on mine, you can access to my website, to my Instagram, and so on. So that's actually a great reminder for everybody to keep your link in place at your Behance, so people can actually view your work, but also connect with you on other platforms as well.
So I just want this to be, let's see how it is when it's bigger.
Annika is saying, yes, let's click on each other's faces.
That works.
So fun.
And I think I want it in blue.
Ooh.
Again, it's very holistic right now. It's not like I have not added anything in my master pages yet. I'm kind of letting the design
flow,
and then I'll make some decisions to add some consistency, and just want to see it still fits in the grid, which is perfect. So if ever we do this, it's not like
moving now. My question is, there is any reason why you leave like more space, top or bottom? Like, is still simply flowing, or there are any, you know, specific choices that you have for the way that you place the text?
I'm still letting it flow for now.
Okay.
Like I'm still not sure. Like this to me feels a bit big, but again, like there's not that much content. I do like when in a book it's at like, this is 20 points, like this is big. I like when it's at 9, when it's very small, but that's like very, very small. Although we could play again on breaking the rules and just having that shape that's there, and it's like tiny text, which we could maybe bring like this, like that's cool, you know?
Yeah. Maybe we can have a photo, like almost look like a little Polaroid.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Let me bold this.
There is any specific range that you have for your point size? So what is the minimum that you would use, and what is the maximum that you would use for copy, for actual text?
It depends again, like what you're using and what format it is. Like again, for our zine, I think it's 9, the minimum. The bigger it's like, again, depending on the type of text or heading like that we want to have and what impact do we want to have. I think for the new zine that we design, there is one spread that has like the zine number, which is 0005, and I think it's at 200 point like in it.
Oh wow.
It's just like, it's huge. And it's great. And then like the text underneath, it's at 9 point, and it's the editor's letter, which is like that big contrast that is happening, which is super cool. But yeah,
it just depends on the project.
It just depends. I'm not the best at this, and I'm not the best at following rules either. I'm like, I'll make the rules after I have like all like all of this happening, and then I'm like, okay, like how can we clean this up a little bit? Again, I kind of actually really like this, because I do want to have like boxes of colors that is just kind of happening. So having this like that works well. Okay. I had a specific, and I'm going between my preview mode and the working mode, I guess, too.
Which is the letter W, right?
Exactly. I had made a design specifically because now I want to advertise the scans, and where is it? There's a lot of elements here.
We just had a stream about the use of libraries, and I love to see the use of libraries as well. They're such a time saver, and to save space on your machine as well, because you can delete everything from your computer and just keep it on the library.
That's it.
So welcome. I wanted to say, everybody, welcome that is joining us now. Whenever you're ready, Izzy, I have a question from Annika, or where we are now in the process.
Yep.
So
let's do it. I'm ready.
She's asking, where are we now in the process, Izzy?
Oh, sorry. So basically yesterday we traced like everything. So right now we're kind of just like putting everything together, like dropping the content. Again, like I'm using kind of a holistic approach to this. So I'll just kind of drop a few things and then see how everything looks together, and then tie it up and like work with the master pages, like add maybe some page numbers, like a bit of a like title, like where we're at. Yeah, that's how I do it. I know it's not necessarily like the best way of doing it.
Hey, you're here for a reason. We're here to discover your workflow. That's the beauty of Adobe Live. Everybody's got a different workflow and we're here to explore it. Maxwell is saying, love how you're using those eyes. Super stunning. I agree with him. It's just so cool.
Yeah, I'm happy you like it as well.
There is something. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, that's yet another thing too. Like because I'm collaborating with Maxwell, I'm letting the artwork inspire me almost in the moment. Like I'm leaving some room for happy accidents, if that makes sense.
Yes, we were talking about that yesterday during the end of the stream. And I just think that there is so much power in vectorizing drawings. It just like brings them to life.
Oh yeah, okay. And then I had some scans. Let me see if this works actually, because I have Bridge open and I can select the scans. Okay, I really like this. I think if I right click or click Control, I can place, and then InDesign, which is another great way. And already, because I had my box already made, they get automatically placed in it. So this is another great feature for Bridge.
We have a question from Smooth Alex asking, how long does it usually take to do something like this?
Depends on how many pages. I mean, if we look at the zine, and the zine has about 100 pages, it takes us, and we granted that we do this on the side and there's 6 people collaborating on it, 3 months altogether. But the design part of it, I think we can pump it in 2 weeks, working a few hours here and there after a work day, because everything is done voluntarily. And another thing that I'd like to add is when we sell the zine, we don't make a profit. It's just going back to the club to make more zine, elevate more voices, and make more activities and workshops, stuff like that.
That's amazing. So it self-sustains.
Yeah. And I mean, self-sustained for the club, not for us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, we love it so much. And again, it has like developed so many cool friendships. Like we have the best example here. That's actually how I discovered Maxwell, was through the club and the zine. So, and now we're doing this together today.
Have you ever tried to like sell it into independent bookshop?
Yes. So the problem with that is that it's consignation, and we barely make a profit when we sell it on our own. Like I think we make $5 profit on it because it's a small print batch. So if ever we do have it like in an independent bookshop, then they will take 30, 40, 50%, which then we are at a loss. So that's why we do craft markets instead. So then we can save on shipping too, because shipping, we actually take a hit on the shipping. Whenever we sell online, we break even. We don't make a profit. So that's like another thing. Like if we want to talk about, sorry, where's the place?
Just there.
Yeah, there you go. Having like an online shop, there's like so many little things that you need to think about, like to have in place. So
mock-up, promotion, photography.
Yes. And that is something that we have been very lucky to have good photography, because a local photographer, his name is Remy, and he came to us. He's like, hey, I want to support. And he does like the photography for our zines. And it's just flawless every time. We can have like crazy concepts with him. Like our last zine, because we were at Origins, like really heavy on like definitions and the origins of the words and stuff like that, we actually built this full set of like for the photography with dictionary pages.
Oh, wow.
Like, so then like we go in and then we have like those big sheets and we're just like, can you light this up and make something with this? And he's like, yeah. We just kind of did it. So it worked really well. But so there's a lot of people that are involved in this. Even like our editor, Kyla, like going over everything. Whenever we invite like guest curators to help us select, because everything is through a call for submission. And because Ariane and I really like the same thing, it's nice to have other people's opinion to make sure that the zines are relevant and that we see like different content that maybe we would not necessarily put in. Like it's nice to have those discussions too. So it's great. And
yeah, it generates, passion projects are always amazing to generate new, exciting thing that can happen around the project itself.
That's actually how I find my niche too for my business.
Oh, wow.
Through the passion project. So I just want to see the stroke. Okay. So because we wanted to offer like a different experience with our zine, they are multi-sensorial. So we with the second zine, we offered bubble gum with it, and we invited people to chew gum as they were reading and
to get in the mood.
It's also because it was about pop culture, and we were comparing how we consume pop culture to how we consume bubble gum. There's a lot of, so it was this like big artsy thing happening. That makes sense.
Yeah, that sounds so much fun.
It was super fun. So that's also when we had like a playlist for the first time. So we invited people to chew the gum, listen to the music, flip through the pages to have like this full multisensorial experience. And that got me thinking like, wow, like there's actually like many, many missed out opportunities on offering a branded multisensorial experience with businesses. So, and it's very new. Like whenever I say immersive, right, or multisensorial, people are like, huh? What? So maybe I shot myself in the foot by doing this. But so far, the clients that I'm getting, like they do want to do that. So like, okay, could there be like a scent attached to your brand, or could it be even like whenever you send something through your online shop, could you have like a candy of the month, and that gives a flavor to your product? Stuff like that. So how can you elevate that experience by triggering other senses? I'm like going deep into strategy here, but I think there's like a market for that is untapped.
Absolutely. And I think that like experimenting on these passion projects also allow you to have new ideas for your clients. When you're real clients project, I mean, you have something that is already pushing the boundaries of what you're creating.
And also being able to refer people. Let's say one of my client really needs an illustrator, and I'm like, I know exactly who I can refer you to that we can work together, because now I have this big pool of creatives that I know.
Amazing.
Okay, so far so good. I just want to do another spread with scans, like looking at, oh my gosh, the time is going by so fast.
Yes, we're already 1 hour in, and I think it's a great way to just quickly recap. So we're here with a lovely Izzy, which is tuning in from Ottawa to create a funky tattoo design book, what we also called a coffee table book, which is a wonderful, entertaining book about specific topic. In this case, the topic is tattoo design. And in fact, we're featuring the lovely Maxwell Hughes design. It gives access, well, it gave Izzy and all of us access to his lovely sketchbook. And that's what you're seeing in the pages, the real original sketches there behind the scene of the design work and the tattoo work. Big shout out to Maxwell. Also, do you want to give real quick the shout out to his Instagram, so maybe people can go directly and check it out?
Yes, hold on, let me actually pull the QR code so people can see it.
Yeah, we got a QR code.
There you go, that's your time. Or here is the handle, Migpor, and maybe we can drop that link in the chat again if you want, Anika. Thank you.
Perfect. And yesterday we started by working in Illustrator. We brought Izzy. I say we as if I'm doing something. I'm just
you're definitely helping me.
Izzy is tracer. Yesterday we spent a majority of the time inside Illustrator tracing all this wonderful sketch, and now Izzy is using Bridge in order to place them inside the InDesign to actually make the booklet come together. And stay tuned until the end, because we're also going to be jumping into Adobe Express to create some promotional material as well. And Izzy, since we're here and I already interrupted you, why not to pass you a few questions from the chat?
Please.
We have a question from Stuart. Do you print out the double page spread to get the feel of the magazine to review it, or just review it online using InDesign share feature?
Both, actually. So like for the zine specifically, with working with a team, like we send it and then we add some comments using the share. And but when I am very analog, as you can see from all of the sketches that I've done here, I love to print it just to have a feel, like fold it just to see like how, and is there something that we could add specifically that, again, we try to have this multi-sensorial experience. It's like, how can we render that when it's in people's hands? That's an added step. It's not necessary, again, depending on what you want to do. But I'm an overachiever, if you haven't noticed. We actually had this conversation with Paco before the live. And I love to test out and make sure I have a plan E for everything if that does not work. So and that's also something I've learned about with Ariane, because she's the same, and the way she thinks help me plan better for having better solutions if ever something was to happen. So
and we have Maxwell also saying glad to be here and see my art through your lens, which I think is so amazing. I love these collaborations. Maxwell, we love your work.
Collaboration, there's so much to be said about it, and this is why our next zine is about collaboration. Maxwell is featured in it. Everything that we do is a collaboration when you think about it. When you're working with a client, if it went from the business, you can't brand it. If it's always like that. I mean, whenever you can leverage other people's strength, whenever you are not necessarily the best, I mean, imagine the possibilities.
Of course, you double the possibility of success.
Exactly. That's the interesting. I really like this. I really like how this is coming along. So actually, now that we have this green, I actually want to see what it would look like with this green. So I'll use the eyedropper tool. There you go.
So cool. By the way, we have another question whenever.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Smooth is asking, so we have Smooth Alex. Are you just using the grid lines to arrange the pieces? So I guess it's more about the layout and your choices into distributing images and so on.
Yeah, for sure. I can talk about that a little bit. So the grids actually help you to have some sort of framework to work with. You can let's see if I wanted to align scans here, just with the line like that. Then with other spreads, because you're aligning it with that line, depending again on the layout, it just gives this consistency, if that makes sense. So yeah, grids help you to position stuff. Sometimes again, you have to go outside the grid, here, I wanted it to be the full page. So it's not necessarily following the grid. You're cheating a little bit. But here as well, if I wanted to do another placement, and then it's just yeah, I don't know how to explain it better. Maybe you can help me, Claudia, on that. I don't know if I did it well.
Well, no, I think you've done a great job. Guides are there to make sure that you achieve consistency in the way that you distribute elements around the pages. So are there to guide you to make sure that you can very easily reposition and use the page layout and the distribution of the content in a consistent way. So that's what our eyes seek. Our eyes seek consistency. So having the guides help us out, but also breaking the rule allows you to make some pieces stand out because you create what is called dissonance. So also stepping off the grid will add an accent to the calm way of using a consistent grid. And as I say, Izzy, I always say, like, there are no rules to make good designs as long as there is a reason behind it. So as long as there are a reason behind the choices that you make, you can follow the grid or you can break the grid. Just make sure that you're doing it with purpose.
You said it so much better than I would have. I love that.
We say
thank you.
Too kind.
I love the word purpose a lot. Like, this is something like in brand strategy that if you don't have a purpose, then why are you doing like what you're doing? And even in your design, like you said, like having a purpose is so important. So I love the fact that you use that word, because this is a word that I have in my vocabulary and forgot to use today, probably due to the lack of sleep.
Well, we're here together. So, and we have so many similarity. The more we get to talk, I come from a brand design background. I used to work in PR. So I come from the background of a marketer. And those two elements are so important. They feed each other. The soul
absolutely.
and the look.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is looking so beautiful. It's
looking so good. I'm really loving how everything is like coming together. Again, like here, the eyes, like for scans, I thought like that was like a good idea to use the eyes because it's like literally scanning. I don't know if that makes sense. I really, really like this spread here. Let me zoom in where we can actually see like the open book. And actually, I'm gonna bring that. Oops. Here underneath, having that repetition here is great and something that we can read. And this is like something random, like oh, can I get $100, like $100 off rent if I clean and if I do something? It's like, this is like from Maxwell's. So this is like very rough and like raw if we want, like which I find like works really well with the style that we're like, doing right now.
Just reflect the grotesque theme that goes.
Exactly. Okay, so now like let's go to the parent here, like in your pages, because I think we have like enough content to make some decisions. So I would love to have the title like featured on every pages, like very, very small. So again, using that Maxwell's book of faces, using the grid. And maybe it will be on some pages, maybe it won't be on some pages. Again, like when you use the parent or the master pages, like you can add it, remove it really easily, which is great. Let me just go to maybe I'll do core text.
Yeah, you can apply different parent pages and they basically work like a background to your page.
That is it. I'm putting it just a bit outside of the margin because like I know I probably won't put any content here.
So you have like your safe space.
Exactly. And here I actually want to put the page number, which I will go to type and then special characters, markers, current page number. So this is normal, but whenever we go back to this here, it actually does it for us. Oh, okay. So this, see, like I did a mistake here. So basically, because I'm adding some layers on the same technically the same layer, I'll redo all of this, but on a new layer that is on top of the current layer that I'm working on in my document. So I can just do this.
Yeah, I tend to have a layer for parents just to make sure.
That's it. And I can name it.
Tatenda is writing, the eyes are making sense. I like the creativity.
Good. And because I already have one, I have another parent here that is black. I can put it white and just do that. Actually,
Stuart Fickling is referencing a design book called Grid System in Graphic Design, and that's actually what I used to use as a student, just right after being a student, when I started in graphic design.
I think I have that book. I just never read it.
It feels safe to have some, design book in the shelf. They're there like to remind us of stuff.
That's the thing. Or if ever I do need something, it's like, oh, it's there. So like that's good. But speaking of book, I do have a book recommendation.
Yes, please.
For everyone who want to maybe be ambassadors on like their creative journey. It's called, it's a bit advanced, but if you can do everything that's in there, I think it will propel you. It's called Key Person of Influence. Small book. It's only 4 hours on Audible, if ever. And it's like a step on becoming a person of influence.
Ooh.
Oh,
super exciting.
It's a great one, actually. Okay.
What is it called again? A person of influence?
Key person of influence.
Key person of influence.
Yes. I forgot the author.
Well, let's see. I'm having a look online. That's why. Let's see, me or Nanika, I'm sure we're going to be able to find it real quick. And I'm going to give a shout out to a book as well that I just finished to read. It's called The Go-Giver, which is very similar. It's just a book about business ideas and how to promote yourself. So, I love talking books.
Me too. There's so much you can learn.
We have to hang out, like, for sure after this stream.
Yes. Actually, so Chris Do was at Adobe Max last Faces. He was at Adobe Max last week, and I'm part of the Future Pro group. And something that he says often is to read at least one book a month, and then make your own synthesis from that and apply it in your day-to-day if you're running a business. And by doing that, it's almost like you like have a thesis, if that makes sense, because technically when you write a thesis, like you probably will read 10 books, reference 10 books and make your own assumptions and like way of thinking based on different types of thinking. Again, this is a bit advanced, but I think it is so true to just kind of learn, like become this learning machine, because you never stop learning in this industry.
Absolutely, anywhere, I think. And we have the authors, so Kevin Arrington and Daniel Presley. Hopefully I haven't butchered their names too much.
Actually, I think Mr. Presley is from the UK.
Oh, okay.
So
I will butcher the name anyway. Between my accent and my pronunciation. Yeah, weird things happen. So I apologize to everybody, even in chat, for butcher names.
It's okay.
I hope I didn't butcher your last name as well. So I'm sorry if I did.
My last name is so hard to say.
How would you pronounce it?
Poirier.
Poirier.
Yeah, that's actually really good.
Je parlais un petit peu de français.
Ooh.
And that's the end of it.
I can't say anything in Italian. I can only say ¿Cómo se llama? In Spanish.
Ciao.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so now we're like doing the faces, and I guess we should like copy some type from Illustrator to InDesign to show like the new feature. So let's do that.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Shout out to the Illustrator and InDesign team for making that happen.
Yes. So much cool stuff. I feel like I'm still on knowledge comma from like coma. from last week because there was like so much to take in, and I feel like I have not had like the chance to just do like a like,
Oh yeah, I mean, Adobe Max usually, to me, I call it the injection of creativity, injection of creativity and inspiration that to me lasts a year. So the you know the design knowledge coma lasts a year until you finally absorb all the design nutrients that you get through it.
Yeah, seriously. And all like the amazing people that you like so much. I am still listening to 21 Pilot. so that is great. Okay, so here I have some of Maxwell's quotes, which I will copy.
You lifted them from the sketchbook?
That's correct. Actually, I'm so used to doing some text boxes in InDesign that I do the same in Illustrator, but I prefer working directly because then the like stretching or scaling.
Yeah, and also because right now you have a point type, so you might have distorted it, I think. So just go ahead and see. Yeah, probably it's best to paste it. So if you double click on can you see that there is one handle on the side of the text box? That means that you're working with a point type. So when you click and drag, you actually distort the text. If you double click on the handle that is on the side, on the right side of the box, there is like a little handle sticking out, which is round at the middle.
Oh, this.
Yeah. If you double click on it, it transforms your point type into a text type. So now you see that you have two handles now, and you can change the area. So it will not distort the text.
Nice. I did not know that. See, I learned so much on here.
It's just very useful to preserve that the text and maybe to make your box bigger if you need to.
Very cool. Okay. So what I like, and that's like a trend that we have seen a lot, it's like having some italics like randomly in a sentence, or like uppercase, lowercase, and stuff like that. So integral only comes with uppercase. So like if we want to play with like the different family, if we want, like it would have to be italic or like the font weight. So here, so totally done. Let's do this. Like so it's all, yeah, regular like this, and then done. Let's do it like very, very thick, and maybe apply a color to it directly. Now that I have my, there you go, from the library. And now if I copy it here,
and I'm sorry, but I muted myself for a second because the neighbor was doing the yard, so I couldn't feel like I was just waiting for them to pass by this a little bit next to me.
So that did not work. So is there something I did wrong here?
Let's see. So you wanna try to select and paste that into a separate. Just because what I will do to copy and paste is to select the entire text box rather than the word. So maybe if you're just looking to paste the specific sentence, I will copy and paste it in Illustrator in a single text box itself. Yeah, and then you copy that box and paste it inside Illustrator.
That makes sense. There you go. Oh, nope. Let me try that again. Let me see. Okay, so it's working here.
Oh, can you look at the little T there? Maybe, no, you see, yeah, perfect. So it was pasting as text only. Now we are pasting with the formats as well.
That makes sense.
So let's go ahead and see if you can actually do it just by selecting the text like you were doing before, because we may be able to do that. If you don't mind, we're just test crashing.
Yeah, nope, no, we are. And that's
because this is a brand new feature, by the way. So just copy and paste, and then just copy and paste just from the selection there. So if you double click, yeah.
I just want to try like something so we can see.
Perfect. Yeah. Beautiful.
There you go. There you
Beautiful.
go. And this is still a text, so I can still like play with it. It's just like too big now. Like that.
Perfect.
So I guess sorry, please.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, for the reason why, like, because you might ask, like, why don't you just do it directly in InDesign? Just because all of my drawings are here, like that could be like a great way for me to associate the quotes with the specific faces, like already, and then have them already all like decide, like take the design decisions that I know it's going to work well with the faces, and then just copy paste. It's just like a new way of like working, I guess.
What I was going to say and add real quick is that if you want to fit your text box to your text, you can use the shortcut Option Command C on a Mac. That's Alt Control C, and it will just fit and very neatly change the side of your text box. So just click on it, and with the shortcut Option Command C or Alt Control C, you fit your text box to your text frame to your text.
Like this, like what happened?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Do you use shortcuts a lot, or?
I do, not mostly in Illustrator. Like I like this, and a lot in Photoshop as well. I started my Adobe journey in Photoshop, I guess, like a lot of a lot of designers. Well, specifically that I took photography in university, so
even there, you can just use the Command C and it will fit it in it, even if it's like a part is missing. So sometimes when we have the little plus at the end of the frame that it shows us that we have, a part of the text missing, you can select any text box and Option Command C, Control Alt C will do the job for us.
That's amazing.
Can you tell that I'm a shortcut freak? I love it.
Yes, I love that. Hey,
like
anything
piano.
Anything to be efficient. Specifically now, like with the I find like with all the AI and Sensei stuff that Adobe is working on, like I think efficient working will be so cool.
I love all the negative space that you're living around. It's so nice to have so much contrast in between the page and the drawing.
I love negative space. I find like this is like something that I've noticed, like it's sort of my style. It's funny because I was in a Discord group at some point for brand designers, and someone like I had work on my website, and there's a lot of white space on my website. And someone like kind of like just gave me feedback without me asking for feedback. One of those.
Yeah.
And it was like, there's too much white space, like we're losing and I'm like, no, like you don't get it, like this is my thing. Like,
there is a purpose.
Exactly. Like I like when the design breeds, that's not what I wanted, a lot, specifically for art, and that's why like whenever you go in an art gallery too, there is a big white wall it's really for you to not get distracted by all of the other stuff around. And because this is very much like art focus, why not?
I love this metaphor. I think it is a great way of comparing the pages into rooms.
So there you go. I'm just like being mindful of the time too, because I'm like, I won't have time to finish today, but hey, that's
and okay. By the way, I'm sure you know already, like there is an Adobe Live Behance page that features all the work that all the guests do, and you can finish it also in your own time. So it's completely fine if you don't have the time to finish it today. You will, be able to finish in your own time, and you can just simply tag Adobe Live on it, so they will be able to feature your final piece.
Yes, that would be great. Specifically for Maxwell too, like I really want this to have like a finished look for Maxwell to be able to be like, hey, we did this together.
I love that.
Okay. I want to say I'm tired. That one looks tired.
We have a printing discussion in the chat. So we have Stuart giving us printing tips and talking about what is called deep black, which is the black with the additional 15 to 25% cyan to the black to get a richer black when printing. Absolutely. Yes, Stuart.
Yes, this is actually something we did for our very, very first zine. Because the cover was black, which is our brand color for the Ottawa Design Club. And I actually did, again, like something that Ariane like taught me because I had no idea about it, which is great.
Beauty of collaboration. I
want the I'm tired to kind of pop out like in the, because I thought about this book being a perfect bound. I kind of wanted to pop like just randomly, like when you open it, then kind of it's cut down like from the middle. That makes sense.
Will you stretch it a little just to allow the perfect bound space in the middle to take in a little bit of the type?
Yes, let's do that actually.
And for those of you that are in chat, you don't know what is perfect bound, actually have a little book here. So perfect bound is a style of binding that has different sections glued together at the back. So whenever you have an inner margin inside, you will see that the inner part of the page will actually get tucked in. Oops, probably you can see it here. I don't know if you can see it here. It gets tucked in within the binding, so inside your actual spine, and that's why Izzy is making it a little bit bigger. So whenever you're going to be able to have a spread in front of you, whatever is hidden inside it, you'll be able to show it. So this is an example of perfect binding with a book. Sorry, I just had a book here, so I thought, why not show it?
Of course.
I love printing.
I love our collaboration on this live so much. This is great.
We have so much in common. It's amazing and so exciting. I'm very happy to be here with you.
Me too.
And it started from the beginning, right? We brainstormed this project together.
Yes. Yeah, because again, like I was tasked to show like the new features of Illustrator, and I did not know about them. So it's kind of a curveball for me to come up with the content.
And you're doing great because we pretty much showcased everything that we had to.
Actually, I think I want to have like a bold color. So I started with pink, and as I'm developing this, I'm like, pink does not feel right for this this type of design. I don't know. You guys can let me know in the chat if you want. But yeah.
Yeah, let's take an input from the chat. Let us know in the chat what you think about the pink, and if you have an idea which is the better color to swap it to.
And this, like, because the lines are very thin, it's like too much contrast with this one. So I'm going to change what goes in that one. Maybe. There you go. That's like a little better. I really wanted to do the cheese face. There was a cheese face here, and there was a perfect quote that went with it. So this is the cheese face here. And there was a quote, and it's this: "He had unblemished skin like a great round of cheese," which is perfect.
Amazing.
So let's do that next. I'm just being mindful of the time. I'll maybe skip a few pages and go into like the text.
So the chat is saying maybe a silky green, or I like the yellow. So like I think a pastel green.
Let's do it. And I'm literally going to remove this color from the color palette. There you go.
Sorry, I've done a little duck in here. I just nearly threw all my laptop and charger down. So
Oh
apologies.
no.
I'm here. I'm all safe. All safe.
That's good. There was
I like the green.
The green works really well, actually. I like that. This is great. Okay, so let's just do the cheese face. And the libraries. I'm loving this so much.
Oh, I think they were suggesting the green instead of the pink and to keep the yellow. This is the direction that we're having from the chat.
Oh, okay. So I removed the pink from the color palette here, so that works.
Perfect.
And then let's do this. Just want it a bit bigger. The thing is, I want to have, like, I'll put this green and I'll have the yellow here for the nice sentence that unblemished skin.
With a cheese face.
Exactly. So I have just, well, I did some tests and realized that I am lactose intolerant. And it was a very sad day for me. Because I love cheese.
Would you still be able to have it here and there?
Yeah.
Like cheat day?
Yes, but I have to be very mindful about it, which is not fun. And I guess I always knew that I was lactose intolerant, but didn't want
to. That's why you don't do it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why.
If it could, like, chocolate comes out, I'm like, no.
Yeah, exactly. There's like, I'm technically gluten intolerant too, but like, I'm like, like at some point you have to live a little bit. So.
This is looking so cool.
It is so good.
And Becca is saying there are a lot of good vegan cheeses brands out there nowadays. Yes, great shout out, Becca.
That is very true. So I'm wondering if I could have.
My only issue being vegan is the fact that I'm too Italian. Like, you cannot take the mozzarella out of me. But yeah, there are fantastic vegan alternatives.
For sure, and it's great, and that's what I have been like doing too. I really like this.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, I even like don't mind this little hyphen like in the middle for unblemished. Yeah. I think that's great. Okay, so I'm just being mindful of the time. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to generate like a QR code directly in here. So I'll just so it looks somewhat like okay, because I want to jump into Adobe Express because there's a lot to be said in Adobe Express. Okay, so let's say for the last page, like this is always like either like the thank yous or like follow, blah, blah, blah. So for this, we could have like, thank you for reading. Follow me for more content. We can, I'll just use like paragraph styles.
Benny's saying, stop making us hungry. Yeah, I'm super hungry too.
Oops, sorry.
Yesterday I was at Tacos and Gulliver. Today I'm like, where is the new taco for the day? I'm ready again.
So if you go to here, object, you can generate a QR code. It's right there. It's been there forever. Again, did not know. Did not know that that was a thing. And you can like choose here web hyperlink. And let me just go back to, oops, sorry, I guess I should have pasted my address first. So if I go here, I have Maxwell's profile. Then let me go back to InDesign, object, generate QR code, put it here. Okay. Boom. shakalaka, it's there.
Done, done, done.
Done. And what I like about it too is that it's transparent. So if you do want, let's say we want to have this here, we want it to have a nice color. Put it at the back. And I think you can also do this. You can add some color at the back.
Perfect. So you can just really give it a good contrast.
Exactly. And do some cool stuff with it. How cool is that?
So amazing. Love it.
Let's just have, I'm gonna like remove this, and then we can jump into oops.
Adobe Express.
Thank you so much. Yes. Whenever I'm doing too many things at once, sometimes my brain shuts down.
I gotcha.
Thank you. All right. So obviously we want a bit more content in this, but this is what we have kind of created so far. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about this. Like whenever you're also creating a book, it's nice to have kind of the copyright statement with your ISBN number here. And something that I want to say, this is like very close to my values, specifically in Canada, to acknowledge the unceded territory of the Indigenous communities that live here, and saying like this project was created on unceded Algonquin territories, which is where I'm located right now. And then just saying like all rights are reserved and stuff like that for printing. It's just good to have like that information and it looks super professional whenever you're printing it.
Of course. Thank you so much for sharing that.
So that's it. So that's like what we have now. The cool
faces. That's looking amazing.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it. This is, I think, my favorite spread.
So beautiful.
So good.
They're all good, honestly. Like I'm like, oh, that's my that's my favorite. That's my favorite. The other one, again.
Even this, I'd love to like, whenever I'm going to be working on it a bit more, I'm going to add more like this, where there's like a lot of quotes. I think like that is like a fun play with the face design and wording. And yeah, so we have this. Okay, let's give it a save. Let's jump to Adobe Express. Now, let me preface this that I am very new to this, like a lot of probably you watching. There is so many things to look at, and I'm pretty sure Claudia will help me.
Absolutely. We're doing this together.
So I guess like the first thing that caught my eye is that there is this brand thing here that you can go and create and bring some assets like for your brands. So Book of Faces here, I have already, because Integral is a font that I bought, I downloaded it already. And then Nibis, which I had to download actually for the body because it was not offered in the, but it is a Adobe font. So like basically we have the heading and the body there. We can like add some colors here. The logo, so technically I could be like adding some of the exports. It's not the logo, but it's like the faces could be part of the
assets that you will
like
add
assets. Thank you. I tend to do this like even like on my regular day. I'll have I'll say a sentence and then cut like midway, and my fiance is always like, "Yes." Oops. So yeah,
well,
so that's
as long
like,
as you don't mind finishing it, we can be a great
no, please, exactly. So that's like what I was able to explore like within like last week actually. Like since I really got like introduced to Adobe Express since Adobe Max, which is great. Do you have anything else to add here, Claudia?
Well, I think the color palettes and the fact that you can have secondary color palettes, I think is very exciting. And even for the logos, you can have multiple logos as you shown. So if you add, more color palette, you'll be able to swap in between any of the color that you have. And that's a good place to start in order to keep your assets together. If you want to scroll towards the bottom of the page, you can also see very quick applications of these assets and these branding styles. So you can see how they are
Like
displayed. Yeah. So you can see how they are displayed in something like a website, for example, and so on and so forth. So you can always go back into the branding. Yeah, and they just give you a preview of how you will have the color theme. And of course, if you swap the color theme, so let's see, for example, we get the blue or the yellow on it, you can set that as the primary color. So you can replace it. And from there, you will see that automatically at the bottom, the preview should be updated right away. So you can see that having different color theme will show you the different way that the color can be applied during the page, in videos, and again, in different styling of your assets, brand assets.
This is amazing. So if we go here to projects, I have started one already, but let's create another one.
So you might want to go to the home,
to the plus, and then we can choose what is it that we want to do. So let's do here an Instagram. Actually, let's do a Facebook post because I was not able to connect my Instagram to this. That's because my Instagram is being fussy, not because of this.
Passwords.
Yeah, that's the problem. So now that we have this, we can work on the layout. We can bring in some, let's see if we do layouts. Oops, it's saving something that I haven't done.
Yeah, so Adobe Express works directly online. So if you see actually at the very top, it already says that the project is saved. Everything that you do will be automatically saved as you go. And in fact, you can access it from any browser or also from your app. And every single step will be saved literally as you go. So you are safe to play, and always you can go back to different saved moments of your project as well. So feel free to experiment.
So you can also switch brands in between here too. But because I don't have a lot of images, sorry, that's not how I did it. Earlier, how did I did that?
Maybe you want to start from a template. Why not start from a template?
We can start from a template, sure.
Yeah.
So
if you go at the very top part, that's just a canvas. So if you go back to the home, let's go back to the home. So the very top bar gives you access to the sizes. So you have the size of an Instagram story, Instagram post, and so on. Well, the template, you can either search between the popular template at the bottom, or one of the amazing features is at the top. There is actually a search bar that allow you to narrow down the topic that you want. So if you go at the top, maybe you can put tattoos or artists or advert, whatever is a keyword that resonates with the project that you're going to create. That is a perfect space for you to add it. And then on the left of your workspace, you will have a category list that will allow you to narrow down the different category of what you want to create. So in this case, from there, you can perhaps choose Facebook posts. So if you can see under the jump the category, towards the bottom, you'll have access to Facebook posts. So not only you can search through a keyword, but then automatically Adobe Express will narrow down and show only the sort of template that you look in terms of format as well. And those are all editable. So you can jump in whatever reflects the closest design, or you can just simply look at those for inspiration. Completely up to you. And simply click on it if you want to in order to start edit any of the ones that are there.
Let's do the first one that it's there. So perfect. So now we have tattoo. So we can go and edit in here. So let's do Maxwell's. Let me see. And then I can change the fonts here. Maybe I can.
So if you look at the very top, the two fonts that are part of the brand will be available for you. So you have Integral and Nimbus ready for you to use once you click there. Isn't that so amazing that you can literally use your brand assets right away inside the app? Yeah, so at the very top, you should have a little, yeah, perfect. We got them. The book of faces.
Book of faces. There you go. Perfect. I don't want to have this here. I don't want to have this here, so I can just easily remove it.
Oh, I also you can swap the butterfly with a face.
Yes. So let's do that. Or see, like I actually deleted it and I just did Command Z and it did it for me. So that's perfect. So if this here are the layers. So if I click on this layer and I can do replace. And how did I upload the image earlier?
So here, when you click on replace, it will take you right away into the category that you replace it. So if you see at the top, it says edit shape. So in this case, you will be able to replace it only with another shape. So the best workflow here would be perhaps to delete it right away. And then if you go into our design assets on the left of the workspace, and from design assets, you can it's just literally under shape on the other side, on the left side of the workspace. From here, you will be able to add your own photo. So let's go back. Did you actually have saved them inside the library? Did you have the traced version? So if you have them in the library, you can actually access the libraries right away. So if you have the vector at the bottom there under design assets, the very bottom, libraries, you will be able to access the library and just simply select it from there. It's probably the easiest bit.
There you go. So now they are all in black. So I'll have to change my background.
Oh, you can change the color from Express. So if you wanted to change the color, there are filters that you can apply to do so on top of anything.
Actually, let's do that. So I have my asset here. So filter, I can turn it on here and see like now it's blue.
And if you click on the current color, you will be able also to, it should give you, it's the blue one at the moment that is picking up. With a duotone at the top, you have the color from your brand. So you can automatically click at any of the color from the brand, or if you have an image, you can use the color picker to pick a color from whatever you want.
This is amazing.
And then you can use it in terms of transparency. You can place it wherever you want and you're doing it.
Let's see. How that looks.
So your process is literally the way that I tend to work on Express. I get a template to get a feel, get the right format and get the kind of elements that you can have into whatever you want to create. And then you can very flexibly change the template and do whatever you want with it. So I tend to use it as a guideline, and then I just completely change it because you can replace and edit anything you want. Now that you have an image, you can actually replace it and it will open up again. So if you click on the replace there, if you click, it will take you to the library. So once you click on any image, it will swap it for you. And it will retain the filter as well.
I love that. That is great. Actually, I want to try something because oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Replace, and I want to use this pattern here. And I'm wondering if that could be interesting to have as a big pattern in the back. That was also something that was directly in
the mood board, right?
Yes, and like Maxwell's sketchbooks actually, which is great. And this works like layers, so I can just do this.
Correct.
And then the text is at the front. I think I will bring down the opacity just a little bit so we can have better reading of the text.
And by the way, you can hold shift and also group all the text if you wish to do so. So you can move them all together with Command G, or there is a little button there on the right that allows you to group all the items.
There you go. So very much like the same logic as like what we use with the other like software like Illustrator and Photoshop, InDesign.
Yes, absolutely. And if you want, like, if you want to perhaps, because I see what you're doing there, you can also duplicate. So if you select the faces, if you wanted to make it a little bit smaller, just make it a little bit smaller and then duplicate it and put two next to the other. So just simply on the top right, there is a little floating menu. Yeah, you can duplicate it and here we go. And you can even group them together. So if you need to move it further, you can just simply, yeah.
I'll just ungroup it so it's just a bit tighter. And there you go.
Oh, cool.
Super cool. I feel like Maxwell should be in two. Oops.
So in that case, you want to go to photos if you want to import images.
I actually want to edit Maxwell. I want to put it in on 2 lines instead of 1, so we have more room.
Let's do this.
So here, if we do Maxwell like that, I want to justify it. I hate with a passion centered text. Hate it.
That works nicely.
I think that works better. Let me just group that again so I can scale it.
Ooh, I love this type lock.
Yeah, me too.
Very interesting.
And now I actually don't like the background that much, so let me change that. Let me import. Oh no, I want to replace.
So remember that you have 2, so you maybe want to delete 1 before you replace it. Perfect.
And then replace. Let's see. View all. That's it. There's so much I could not see everything. I think something like this works better, actually. Because that's much more interesting. We have access to many shapes at once. So as you can see from the top of the cloud, it's simply saving. So maybe you just want to give him a breather. So it's just saving the different assets. And the beauty of working with this app is that everything is happening in the background online. So another thing that you can do is simply refresh. So now, you might want to refresh your page and you will see that everything will get back to where you left it. That is the beauty of working with Creative Cloud Express. Everything is happening in the background. So here it is. You can safely close your computer and you can open it from your mobile. You can open it from, maybe you're going to your auntie's house or maybe you're going to your office and then home. You can simply go back and log in, and just all you have to do is to type in express.adobe.com in your browser and log in and you're ready to go. Oh, I much prefer this one as well. There's so much more movement. Exactly. And it fits better with the style of like what we did earlier with the book. All right. So now, while it's saving, the thing that I was like, oh my God, this is going to change my life is the scheduling tool. And that's what I've explored the most, if I'm being honest. So you see, like there was that little calendar thing here, and automatically imports like the media that I just created. I can select the date. So let's put it for next Monday at time. Let's do noon because that's when people like go on their phone the most. I have pre-written a caption already. There you go. And what I also, so you can select like that's the account that I have like connected with it. So I can like select multiple. And what I also love is that you can preview what it's going to look like. So obviously here I have an error because I have too much text for Twitter, but let's see what it looks like in Facebook. So that's what it is. So good. So easy. It took me 10 minutes to do this? And because I'm also a newbie in this. So this is great. If I were to also like click LinkedIn, I could see them both. And then I can schedule. And there you can see it in the calendar.
Ready to go.
how amazing is that? That is crazy.
Of course, you'll also be able to download the PNG if you're, or the JPEG file if you wish to do that manually. There is a little download button that allows you to directly save it to your machine. And can I push it a little?
Oh, for sure. Please.
So what if you want to, use the same design maybe to do an Instagram post? You can work within the same document. So perhaps you want to name your project at the very top of the bar. So I think that that's just good habit. Next to the little cloud, you can just simply click where it says my project, just click on it. Oops. Let's go back in there.
Sorry.
It's fine. So you could have done it from the bar as well. It's so cool. So if you open the document, yeah. So maybe you want to call that, I don't know, Maxwell advert, because I'm going to show you something.
Really there cool. You go.
Yeah.
Let's call it first post.
Perfect. Now, the beauty of working with Adobe Express is that you can actually duplicate and replicate and create an entire campaign within this same document. So if you head at the bottom of the bar, you can actually create multiple pages within this same document. So you have the option either to duplicate if you wish to create another Facebook post. So it's there at the bottom. So you can either add the page. So in this case, maybe we can do an Instagram story. And then if we go back to the little arrow, now it says at the bottom, page number 2, there is a little back arrow. So if we go back to page number 1, we can click and drag to select everything and Command C to copy.
Oops.
And we can paste it there. Of course, the background is different. You might want to click at the background there to assign a different background. Maybe the best way is if you go to the layers, if you go to the little layers there on the side, click on one asset. Yeah. So the very bottom layer, that is the background. So if you want to click there, and then you can assign the black color again.
There you go.
And all you have to do is to resize, and we're already done. And an Instagram story is there, same. And from there, you can also schedule this one, share it, publish it, download it. And it took us literally, 5 seconds?
2 seconds. It's crazy. There's also, I've noticed here that you can go to resize, and it also gives you, like, if you want.
This will affect the same page though.
Okay.
So that happens within the same page. So you can either, you can work different way. You can duplicate in that case. So which is the next one, the little plus, the next bottom.
This one.
Yeah. So that will duplicate it, and then you can resize it from there.
Let's see if we want to post.
Boom.
Boom. Done. Crazy.
So easy, fast, and efficient way of creating graphics. And that's amazing for non-designers as well.
And I assume too that you can create some templates very easy for your clients. So that way you can, like, if ever you're offering like a design service, like social media design service for your clients, you create templates, and it's like very, very easy to just like pump content out for them too while using this, because everything's there. You create your libraries with their assets. I mean, I love how everything is interconnected, or should I say intertwined, pun intended.
Love that.
Yeah, so it's like really, really cool.
Amazing. So we have less than 10 minutes before we say goodbye. Why don't we do like a recap from yesterday? What do you think?
For sure. Like everything. You want to do everything?
Why not? Let's do like a little step by step, maybe from the sketchbook. Do you still have the sketchbook with you?
Yes. Yeah, I do actually. It's right here.
So maybe we can do like a step by step, real quick recap in this
all right,
last minutes together.
So it started out that wanted to do a collaboration with Maxwell, who is an amazing tattoo artist. Went to visit him at his studio, and then he gave me all of his sketchbooks, which I love this one so much because it's literally a Maxwell Facebook. That's how he called it, and that's like the inspiration behind this full book. But there's a lot of cool stuff that is like happening here. So then scanned everything and like put them in Bridge because I love to work with Bridge. I love to be able to see the files that I'll be like choosing to work with depending on the project. Then we have, let me actually bring this. That was the document that we were working in yesterday. So we have implemented those scans. We traced it. We used the pen tool. We used the the brush tool, sorry, I should say, and the image trace. We also looked at the intertwine feature. I also like did that one last night, like intertwine it a bit more, which was great. Do you want me to do it, like the intertwine?
If you want to give it a shot, we do have a few minutes. Why not?
Sure.
It's easy enough.
It is, for sure. So let me just lock my background layer here, and I'll do it right here. So I'll just release it. So basically before, that's how it was. I have my text here, and I have my drawing. And now with the new feature, you can select both object. Actually, let me just find like an interesting place where I can intertwine. Yes, okay. So you select both objects here, you do intertwine, make, and then there's a little lasso that appears, and then you can go and select where it touches, and then it does the work for you like that. Let me do this here as well.
So amazing. Such a wonderful way of
so cool
interlacing and intertwining overlapping shapes. And so everything is live, the text is live, the shape is live. They are now grouped, of course. And if you wish to release it, all you have to do is to select it and add back to object and either edit if you want to add or modify your intertwine, or simply release if you wish to undo everything that you've done.
But I actually don't want to undo it because I really like that. So let me, oh no, I have to re-intertwine.
Or you can Command Z.
There you go. There you go. It's there. I really like that. So we looked at this and so we spent a lot of time like just tracing this and talking about like the full ideology like behind like the drawings here. And today we started the day in InDesign, where we started to design this coffee table book for Maxwell. Again, we don't have the time to do everything here, but I mean, it's looking really, really good. And
we
obviously,
look forward to see it on Behance.
Yes, and I'm gonna like bring in like all of those intertwined like design that we did like in here. Like I had a specific design in mind, but like please follow myself and Maxwell to see like the end products for that.
I look forward to see it. Let me know when you put it on.
Will do
on Behance.
I do have an outro slide to show people if that is
of
okay.
Of course, let's see your outro slide before we start to say our.
So
we do still have a few minutes, so we actually have like 2 to 3 minutes. So
okay,
take your time.
So we are still good. So basically, it was we talked a lot about the Ottawa Design Club's zine today. Oh yeah, so actually I forgot to like talk about this in the process, but I have sketched out like all like the stuff. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the Ottawa Design Club zine because it is launching on November 29th. This is a QR code. And again, like there's a way to have like the transparent here, which is really great that we saw today with the QR code. This is our shop. The cover will be holographic. Maxwell will be featured in the new zine. So the collaboration is happening between him and the skin that like he tattooed on, which is really great. I just wanted to take a moment to look at this amazing table of content. Like this is our table of content. So how cool is that? Where we actually feature like everyone's faces. This is like me geeking out on design layouts with you. And again, we see Kieran here, who is part of the Adobe family, which is great. And we never, ever, ever do this. We never showcase what's inside the zine before it launches, but it's happening here, people. So you can see a few spreads of what will be inside our next zine. So if you want to geek out and like look at it, please give us a follow.
Super preview. And unfortunately, it is time to say goodbye. This has gone so much, so fast. Thank you so much for being here with us. We're so thankful for our time together, Izzy. We're definitely going to catch up. And don't forget here to come back here at Adobe Live. We're back live tomorrow with the evangelist for the full day. We have a masterclass followed by the new opposite of Office Hours with Nick Longo and Andrew Ocrado. And I also will be back with a brand new challenge in Illustrator. Also, don't forget to watch Adobe Live offline. And when it's not live on your YouTube channel, you can catch up all the stream on the Adobe Live YouTube channel. So don't forget to subscribe in order to watch yesterday and today's stream together with Izzy. Izzy, was an absolute pleasure. And I look forward to see you very soon. And thank you, everybody, for joining. Bye.
Take care. Bye.